Alright, how's it going, folks? I'm going to get started with a little programming today. Trying something new, so bear with me if there's problems. I'm actually recording the stream on my PC rather than downloading the stream later from Twitch. So hopefully that'll make for some better videos when they get posted on YouTube. So we shall see how the actual performance is, though. Yeah, so today we're going to get back to a little bit of programming with this go get release CLI tool that I'm working on. The whole point is to try to build a tool that will allow us to point it at a Git repository, have it check out that repository, add a specific commit or a specific tag, build the software associated with that repository using a makefile, and then create a Git release and upload the build artifacts. So all this to hopefully just automate the process of doing some build releases. So we are at the point where I believe, and I think I said this last time and then found a bug, so bear with me, but I think we're at the point where now we can focus on the actual build release and see why it's not pulling back the list of releases, even though it is creating releases. So let's get started with that. We're done, I believe, with the authorization. And you can see the troubleshooting, the little debugging we got going on over here. But I think that's yeah, so this is the response from the post request creating releases, I think. And that's obviously working, or has been working. And what we need to do is double check that we're getting the actual releases back. So that's back here in the run section. I'm trying to list the releases here using git release. And when we do, we end up with an empty array, or slice. I believe it's a slice, so let's drop that out of here so people can see. How's the size on the code? Readable enough? Should I bump it up another couple of pixels? Rusty, you know, at this point I should probably say I do have a background in programming. I'm a site reliability engineer in my day job, but the majority of my career has been in computer operations, systems administration, some scripting, but you know, I don't have programming from schooling or anything. It's all kind of learned on the job. But this most recent job is pretty programming heavy, so I'm definitely getting into it a lot more. And this is the whole point of this particular series, Practically Programming, is that I'm working on work-related tasks. And I wanted to show people what it's like for somebody who's been in tech for about 20 years, who is all right at you know, real programming, and you know, I would say, you know, good enough to get the job and to do the job, but that it's not perfect. I spend a lot of time looking at docs still, and I think a lot of my peers do too. We look at docs, we troubleshoot, we try things and fail at it. And, that's the point of this program, is to show that, you know, we don't just sit down and bang out perfect code in 4 hours and we're done. So I wanted to kind of contrast what you see on Twitter and what you see in presentations and conferences and stuff where everything looks polished and perfect. Just to help combat kind of people thinking that they're not as good as their peers. So that's what the point of this program is. That's what we're doing today. We're working on real code for work, and yeah, we'll try to figure out why this isn't working, because, you know, that's real work. I got some code that I wrote, it doesn't work, so let's fix it. Yeah, so right here we've gotten almost to the point where we're practically done, other than, you know, cleaning some things up. But we need to get a list of the releases, and then as long as the releases haven't been created, the release that we're trying to create hasn't been created, go ahead and create that release. Well, we know create lease works. We definitely are not getting the list of releases back, so I'm going to comment this out and try to troubleshoot why we don't get our releases. So let me go ahead and pull up the little browser window real quick, and we'll pull up our test repository. And if I can find the browser window, there we go. We're going to go to GitHub. Go hello world. This is just a Go binary, or a Go program that does nothing but print hello world, so it's not fancy, but we do have some releases, and we got some tags. So we got a v0.1 tag, and we got a v0.1 release. What I want to try to do is create a v0.2 release, and it should list back to us that we've got a v0.1. So let me see if I can find my history here. There we go. So we got a commit value for our code. Just to test that the committing works. We know it does. Or not that committing works, but that pointing to a commit works. We know it does, but we're going to continue to use it that way. And we're going to try to make tag v2. So this should create the tag and then show us an empty array for the releases. And it would go ahead and try and create the same release. Actually, we need to do v1, because the idea is we don't want to create the release if v1 release already exists. So. And it's going to prompt us to continue because the tag already exists. And something is broken between last time and now. Cannot find the main module. I found git config. You know what? Might be a different version of code of Go. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this again. Yes. Okay. Better. I'm gonna have to. We just installed Go 1.16, so we have to try that out again. There we go. And we got our one-time code and authenticate to GitHub. Authorize it. GitHub tells us to slow down. I need to remove those. Checking too fast, I guess. Alright. Yeah, so we got a bearer token back and then looked for the releases and we got an empty array. So something is broken in this function. Let's see, we're taking it and get taking it to get URL, getting back a releases type. We're grabbing the releases. Making a request. And clearly we're unmarshalling the request. There's just nothing in it, so let's double check on that. First of all, I guess let's see if we can't print the body. Let's see what's in there. This will just take a look at what it is that we're doing. Let me double check. I'm going to run this in a different window just to make sure that I'm not printing my tokens or anything. You know, I got the browser window up still. Let me show you the code. same thing, using the wrong version to go. Set that as default so we don't have this problem again. Alright. Enter our code again. Tweak the device off so that it stores the authorization. Okay, yeah, we're not printing anything interesting. However, it looks like we did get back a list of something. A string of something. So there, sorry, a slice of something in the body. Looks like bytes, so probably nothing useful really. I'll show you what I'm talking about. We got a real result back. Here in a second. So this is the body of the response we're getting back, which doesn't look like really anything. There should be at least a little bit more. So something about this request is incorrect. So let's hit the docs, I suppose. So we got the GitHub request API. We're looking for releases. Right. Get repos owner repo release. Right. And that's what we've got here for our release URL. It's API to github.com/repos/organization, and then the repository release. So we can double check those just to be sure. Well, no, yeah, we'll double check them. Okay, so we're going to print those. Let's go ahead and print the request as well to make sure that we're asking for the right thing. We are handling errors. Double check in the run.go. Nope, we're not handling errors. So maybe we are getting an error and we didn't know it. That's probably the problem. I bet we are getting an error back and we're just swallowing it. Keep having this problem. I continue to constantly forget to check for errors. I know it's the right thing to do. I know it's supposed to be there. Constantly forget. I should probably just check that first every time I run into a problem that I can't figure out. Instead of trying to print everything and its brother, I should just go ahead and check and see if I've got any error handling. So let's try it again. See what kind of error we get this time. You know what? I'm gonna add the force flag, so it'll stop prompting me. It'll just do its thing. Well, okay, no errors. So this is the, yeah, so back here in releases, we do have the correct organization. We have the correct repository. We're doing a get. Correct URL. I could just curl that, I believe. Let's double check the docs, but I think that means there's nothing has to be passed in with it, right? Yeah, it's just JSON encoding. So let's try that. Let's see what we get back. Yeah. Let's see. Curl the URL that we're looking for, and we'll say that we can accept JSON. Nothing. That cannot be right. Why are we getting no releases? None. I mean, we got releases. Unless they're not active, or... How does that even... Alright. Yeah, I mean, we've got an actual release here. Right? Well, unless that's just it's like a tag release. Let's see what happens if I draft the release manually. We can difference between the release that we're creating and the tag release. Well, just replace the release we had. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and create a v2.0 tag, and we'll see what happens. See what happens. Maybe we didn't actually create the release. Maybe it was just the tag was being linked to a release. I'm not positive I understand how that works. Let's try it with a v2 and see what happens. Or we can check our curl. Yep. Okay, so we got a real release there. So let's go ahead and create a v2 tag. See what happens. Oh man, we gotta fix the editor again. Alright, pushing the tag, which is good. Building the binary, checked out the repository, building the binary, gives us a code. copy the code, paste the code in the browser. Slow down. Okay. So yeah, you can see the byte information that we are printing for the release now. There's a whole lot of it, so we actually are getting that release back. And then we've got an error unmarshalling. Can't unmarshal string into ghost struct field release.url of type url.url. So we'll figure that out. But that means that's working. But something about the way that we are creating the release wasn't working. So let's let's at least have it return the release correctly. We can troubleshoot this bit. So here in the code, we can drop that. We know it's working. We don't need to print the request anymore. We don't need to print the byte body. We cannot unmarshal release URL, release.url from type of url.url. So we got a type mismatch in releases of type releases. We have url.url, and we're getting back a string, obviously. It looks like cannot unmarshal string into release.url. Okay. Well, this is something I'm going to have to learn how to do, because I'm not positive how to unmarshal a string into a URL. We'll do some more documentation. Unmarshal string to beautiful. Oh, well, that's cool. That must be the what is this now? Contains time to time and URL data types and a string and int for the title entity. Right? Gotta specify, we need to be specific in how we get the strings and transform them into data. Interesting. Okay, so we've got to use an interface, huh? So type unmarshaller interface. Interesting, okay. Apologies for the dog. He's guarding us all against this dangerous, dangerous wind. He's a good boy. Just a little bit over guardy. Okay, so we can unmarshal. Unmarshal everything into a raw map. Looks like. So let me go ahead and get that bit started. We'll process, I think, the raw map into the strings that we want. Yeah. So let's look back at the code. So here, we're going to take raw strings. Conceptually match. Hey, Steve H&H, how's it going, man? You doing alright today? Oh, man. Dogs, chill. Let me go close the door. Seriously, guarding us against all the dangers. All the dangers. So much wind. Can we go out there? Go on. There's wind and birds. Oh my goodness. So dangerous. Okay. For real. He's trying to be a good guard dog, but it's a little bit sensitive. We need to turn the sensitivity down on Pupper. Okay. So we've got this empty map that we're going to take just the generic string JSON strings and unmarshal them to so that we can work with them. And that at least will make things a little bit easier. Ah, music's too loud. Okay, thank you. I can drop that down. How about that? Sound better? I wonder if I have... I must have tested my my own voice a little too high. I think I dropped the gain on that. Thank you. Alright, so we're gonna, instead of unmarshalling this directly into the releases struct, or type, we're gonna go ahead and excuse you. Sorry, the dog just apparently opened the door and came in here, so they're gonna stay in here, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna unmarshal directly into, or sorry, not directly, indirectly into this map of strings. And I do feel a little bit better about finding this because I actually understood what he was talking about in that blog post. And like 6 weeks ago, maybe a month, 2 months ago, I wouldn't have. So we're going to go ahead and unmarshal that directly into the raw strings map, and then that should give us some strings, and we can start processing those strings, I think. So let me toss this over here real quick so I can see what I'm doing. Alright. Alright, and then now we're going to start building up the actual releases type. Let's see what he's doing here. If strings up to lower, okay, beautiful, easy enough. I don't think it's all lower though. Let's see what we got back from the. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna print that. We're gonna print that release and see what we're actually getting back. Yeah, very next thing I'm going to do is fix this device off. Because having to put this code in every time is a big pain in the neck. So I feel like I've gotten the hang of Go now that I've been playing around with it for longer. I certainly feel more comfortable than I did even 3 months ago, probably. I've been spending a lot more time, especially through making this particular tool from scratch, has given me a lot more kind of hands-on. So I feel a lot better about that. I'm actually more comfortable having built this than just by even writing large amounts of code in a shared code base where people have done a bunch of other work. Because I think I'm doing a lot more research and I'm understanding a little better. So this has definitely helped a whole lot. Well, that's not helpful. Where did I get an array? It was strings last time. Oh, I know. You know what? I think I know what's wrong here. Let me go ahead and just print the release and then exit there, instead of trying to return the releases into an array. Yeah, definitely. Even if it's just a small project, I think it's really helped. Working on the Go bot with you was helpful as well. Like just the repetition of digging into something was nice. It helps that this is for work though. I've got like a reason every Tuesday and Thursday to sit down and work on this as opposed to trying to do it in my spare time. So it's been helpful. I mean, who knows if it'll ever be used. I hope it will, but I think it's helpful. And the GoBot is rock solid. Heck yeah. Hopefully, it remains that way. All right, so let's just print. Raw strings, I guess. Yeah, we'll just print raw strings and exit right here. Yep. Let's try this one more time. Yeah, same thing. Can't unmarshal it at all. Why? Why? Oh, because it's a number of releases, huh? So we gotta... Alright, back to the docs. Back to the docs. What are we getting back? We are getting back... those are builds. What happened here? I lost it. There we go. We got releases. We don't need the page, I don't think. Okay, yeah, we're definitely, okay. Alright, we're definitely trying to unmarshal an array into a single object. That's the problem there, at least. So we still need to do the raw strings, but what we need to do, I think, is we need to see if I can do this without looking it up. So we've got raw strings. We're going to say var raw releases is going to be a slice of raw strings. Which doesn't like because why? Because it's a type, right? We're going to say oh. All right. Let me talk through it. I don't want to look this up. I want to figure it out. Okay. Raw strings is not a type. I'm just saying it is a variable of type map string. So I need a slice of maps. Can I do that? Slice of map string. Haha! Apparently so. Okay, and this just is saying it's not being used, right? Yep, declared but not used. Okay. So we can unmarshal the response into raw releases, and then let's say for whatever index in range raw releases, we'll say alright, let's see if that works. Nope, that's something it doesn't like. Should omit the second value from range. This loop is equivalent to for x in range. Really? I thought the second value was the index. First value is the index, that's right. First value is index. There we go. Second value is the actual. That's the second. Bah. The first variable is the index. The second one is the value. So let's try this again. Raw string is declared but not used. Let's okay, we'll do we'll just comment it out for now. See what happens. All right. We're going to get this JSON unmarshaled. I am the marshal of the JSON parade. Oh, that was really bad. That was really bad. Can y'all hear my wife talking in the other room? Do I need to turn down my gain or close the door? There's nothing I can do about the dog. Cannot unmarshal number into go value. Okay, so maybe that is the index. No, that's not good. Cannot unmarshal number into go value of type string. Where am I unmarshalling a number? Maybe I need to re-unmarshal. I need to unmarshal. All right, let's try this. we're going to call raw releases a slice of maps strings, and we're just going to straight up unmarshal it. I don't. Is there an integer in the JSON body? It's likely. It's likely. Let's, or is, you know, it's more than likely. There's IDs and everything. Okay. So we need to somehow so the raw releases was a thing I was following, attempting to let me show you this here. This guy was suggesting, whoever this is, looks like a guy, was suggesting that the JSON is just raw strings coming back from what we're requesting, and we needed to use an interface mapping the strings into just a raw map of strings, and then we can assign them by parsing like the ID and URLs and titles, timestamps into what they are inside the release. So raw releases for me is following his pattern, and it's just a map of strings. In this case, it's a slice of map of strings. The actual release type that I have should have, can you see the pop-up? Yeah, should have all the actual types that these things are. I've gone through and created everything, but I wasn't able to. My window's over the pop-up. Dang it. Okay. Yes, there we go. So I do have a struct of a release that I created that should have everything. You know what? Maybe I can just, I mean, these should all be correct. Maybe I can just unmarshal these. No, because, yeah, so the issue is like the JSON is not going to know that it's a URL.URL. It's coming in as a string. So I have to do something with this. Let's see. Maybe something similar. Maybe I need like a raw string. I wish I knew more about interfaces. I've got to take the time to really like dig in, code a bunch of interface examples and see if I can get my head around them, because I believe that's the solution I'm looking for. Although, so he's got these, I'm not positive what these are called, but they, from what I understand, they help with the mappings. But I don't think that necessarily will help. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe I need the extra like identifier. Yes, this can come in as a URL or a string. Yeah, alright. Let me try that. I'm going to adjust my struct for the releases and then see if I can't unmarshal into just the raw map. I don't know. We're going to try something. We'll see what happens. We're going to go ahead and try to update the type. I'm going to say this could be a string. This could be a string. These are all strings. Int string string bool bool blah 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 blah. Author is going to be, oh man, this is going to be, I do not know. These are all strings too, right? I don't understand. Releases is the map of releases. We should, okay, let's try. We're gonna go back to this and see what new error we get. Maybe that'll. Someday I'm gonna set a headphones so don't shut themselves off while I'm using them. Let's see. Nope, it's the other way around. Nope. I can't recall what I just deleted. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Alright. So yeah, alright, let's see if we can't get something out of this. I don't know. That might be what ends up happening. I'm not sure. So what Steve asked is, when am I going to be on Openshift TV? Yeah. So there's a possibility that I might be doing a stream similar to this for actual work, which should be very cool. And hopefully something that works out. We'll see. Yes, I did work with Chris Short at a previous job. Not directly. He was on the side that you were on, as opposed to the side that I was on. But he had me come over and speak to his folks about some DevOps and some containery things, and I got to know him through that, and then just being around in that area while he was living there and I was living there before he moved. So I know him fairly well. So he'll be a good resource if this ends up working out. I'd ask him for assistance, advice, and you guys too. You've been doing this for a long time. You're far more pro than he is even. He's been doing it for a year and a half probably. So I don't know. Then I can call myself. Does that mean I can call myself a professional podcaster if I'm getting paid to work on a podcast? Even if it's only paid to work on a podcast extremely part-time. Or not podcaster, but streamer, professional streamer. I'm 100% going to put that in my Twitter bio, though. I'll be like, host of something. Honestly, I should put this in my bio, too. I hadn't thought about that. So. At the moment, I feel like practically programming is more suited to my skill set because it's a lot more okay to be coming up with all these errors. But, you know, honestly, I explained that to my director and what the shit was all about, and he was still interested. So I think there's a lot of support for that in the where we're working now. I guess I don't have to hide it. I got the big red fedora up here in this logo, so I work for Red Hat, and that's what we're talking about. So, although there's only 3 of you, and one of you knows very specifically that's the case. All right, so invalid use of the string struct tag. All right, so I guess maybe I need to read how the struct tag works. All right, DigitalOcean, let me see. Okay, we got that. And Go code is capable of examining these structs and extracting the values assigned to specific keys it requests. Struct tags have no effect on the operation of the code without some other code that examines them. So, let's see. We have an example with example is name. Obviously, that's and use the word example as the key. The example struct tag has a value of name. The string method to print the thing. Okay, so basically that's not actually doing anything. But we can, I guess, unmarshal JSON, which is what we're looking for. Neither of these have struct tags, so that's probably not a good example. Yeah, for real. DigitalOcean has been extremely helpful in learning Go stuff. Oh yeah, I definitely wasn't trying to hide it. I was just, you know, I don't know, I was sort of talking around it. But yeah, I'm not hiding it. I work for Red Hat. I was just drinking out of a thing for it, so I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I'm just writing some code. All right, so these have struct tags. So how is that different than what they were doing? So they're using the variables here, they're encoding them, I guess, directly as opposed to... Okay. I'm not following. Name, password, created at. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on there. I'm going to have to do a little more reading. See, the example here, they're directly encoding the time as time.time. I wonder if that's the problem. Can I just not... I just can't decode that way? Oh, I don't understand. All right, why don't we try calling all of the releases in the array strings, and then maybe we can decode the strings. We're going to say our string. Say it's a slice of strings, and we're going to decode directly into raw releases, and we're going to print just the index. See if we can actually get anything. What, control dot? No, no quick fixes. All right, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Worst thing we can do is stop trying. So, at the very least, let's give it a shot. Nothing bad is going to happen. I'm not working on the Mars rover. I am working on my own little trivial Golang app. So let's see if we can break it. Move fast and break stuff works just fine when you're not doing anything critical. So. Cannot unmarshal object into go value of type string. What object? What am I trying? How does it know it's an object? It should just be straight up raw. Something. All right, maybe I'm making this too hard. Let's do slice of releases. Can't do that, can I? Slice of release. Yeah, slice of releases. Okay. And we can adjust maybe what's going into the release. All right, we'll just see what happens. Like I said, nothing bad is going to happen. Okay, invalid use of the struct tag, so let me pop that off. We'll leave others on there, see what happens. Maybe it's specifically the time that's not happy. Instead of complain about something else, huh? I don't understand the slowdown. It's not consistent, and I guess maybe it's just something to help with load on GitHub's end. Like, oh yeah, we can't handle this request quite yet. Back off. Yeah, so this is the original problem. Yeah, we're not able to unmarshal. So we're definitely trying to unmarshal the right way. Yeah, so we are using a device authorization flow. We've got a device token and it gets us a bearer token back. So it's not an unauthorized or unauthenticated request. Well, the request for the release is unauthenticated. The thing that you're saying pop up with the slowdown is not unauthenticated. That's a authenticated request. Yeah, so cannot unmarshal string into go struct field. Let's do some more reading. That was the original issue. That's I think what this guy is solving here. But he's not able to, or he's able to somehow unmarshal his and just straight up raw strings. Let's see. What if we say, I'm gonna Google search for unmarshal array of objects. Golang, look at that. Somebody else has already done it. Unmarshalling JSON nested array of objects. Stack Overflow. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, this is...
Don't cry.
I think this is effectively...
Talk to me.
Oh, it's an array of structs? He okay, maybe I don't understand. He's like defining 3 different structs in the same type. Yeah, so I think this should work, right? Don't nest structs. Yeah, definitely not. I'm not a fan of doing it that way either. So let's see. We've got where were we? We were... I lost it. I lost my code. Here we go. Releases. So raw releases, we'll make raw releases a type. And raw releases will have releases will be my brain. Raw releases will be, I don't need a type for raw releases. It's already a slice of releases. So it's just a slice of releases. Why? Cannot unmarshal string into go struct fields. Okay, let's do some more Google searching. Okay, this seems right? I mean, it's saying the same thing we've tried. What are we doing wrong? All right, we'll go by one field at a time. How about that? Field by field until we figure out what it is actually happening. We do need the variable raw releases, slice of release. Okay, and type of releases. What? No, it's already there. Cannot unmarshal string into go struct field release.url. What am I doing wrong? It's already there. Release. The URL is of type url.url. Is the pointer wrong? Why would it be a pointer, right? It's going to be a thing. Is that the answer? This will probably have to be a string too. Well, we already have that as a string. All right. Do we get any further? I'm assuming it's going like top to bottom. That could be a poor assumption, but we'll see. Nope, that didn't help either. Cannot unmarshal string into go struct field of type. Okay, we'll search for that specific thing. don't understand. All right, let's look at this. I feel like this over here is the answer. I just don't understand what is being done. All right, beyond the basic types, you have to create a custom marshalling method. Okay. So he's got a type, link, which has time and URL. That's exactly what we're looking for. JSON does not have complex data types for time or URL. Stored as strings. Okay. We will use another building block of Go, the interface, to enhance our link struct. Okay. So there's a specific method called unmarshaled JSON attached to link. Okay, maybe that's what I was missing. Yeah, the tags are pretty cool, assuming they work the way I think they do. That 100% could be a false assumption on my part, though. So, all right, so let's make a method for release. We'll say func release dot unmarshaled JSON. JSON is going to be a slice of bytes. We're going to return an error. Right. Sorry, it's not a capital R release, it's a lowercase r release. All right, and probably shouldn't call it that. follow what they did. No need to overrate something important. All right, and we'll say, at this point I'm just copying him. This is not like clever code of my own. All right, so this is saying we're going to create our own unmarshaled JSON method on release and try to unmarshal all of that into just the raw strings. And we'll say, okay, B. That's not going to work either, though, right? Because raw response is really a map of string. Sorry, a slice of maps of raw strings, basically. So we're going to say for this is going to be into raw response. And into we will unmarshal X into raw strings. It doesn't like that for some reason because can't use variable of type byte as a slice of bytes. Okay, fine. Fine. That's not right though, right? Oh, right, because we're not going over JSON itself. We're going over ranging over the raw response. We've already got raw response, so we don't need to. Oh, it's a slice though. Cannot use X, variable of type map string as a byte value. Alright, so that's effectively unmarshaled then, right? Alright, we're going to exit there, I suppose. Um, Alright, let's see what happens. Okay. Cannot unmarshal object to go value of type map string string. That's this right here. Alright, more Googling. Don't return interface as a function. Help the runtime and add some info on the destination struct. Huh. Huh. Let's go back to the other one here. So, okay, instead of doing this, what if... Release slice is a slice of... So he's... Brown is a type of mold, brown particle is dirt. That produces the error. So instead we'll say okay. I think this is what returned that error, right? Yeah, okay, so release.url type URL. So then, can I say, I've already got releases as a slice of... Was I trying to make it too hard? We're... Maybe I'm doing this wrong. If this just works, I'm going to be annoyed because I think I changed that last time. It's not going to just work, but it would be cool. And annoying, but cool. Okay, same thing. Cannot marshal string into ghost struct field, release.url type of release. So perhaps now that first one is a good option. Here's release. We'll say func. All right, and we'll try that raw strings again. Let's see. And then I suppose up here we would say, let's see. What did I call it? Was it not unmarshaled JSON? Yeah, unmarsHAL JSON. Nope, that would be release, not releases. Cannot call pointer method unmarshaled JSON on release. Right, because pointer methods are not the same thing as regular methods. You can use regular methods on pointers, but you can't use regular pointer methods on regular types. So what am I doing wrong here? we'll say releases. Do right, range. We'll do don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I've lost it. I've lost how to do this. I've lost all of this. Okay. I've lost the thread. I need to go back and clean up. Start over. When I call get releases, I get an array of releases. So let's look at just straight up unmarshal an array. Alright, the body is a slice of bytes. We'll call that an array of strings. We'll go ahead and just, for now, say we're returning an array of strings. And we'll say air is equal to JSON unmarshal body releases. Alright, let's see what happens there. Just straight up into strings. Maybe we can work down from there. Cannot unmarshal object into go value of type string. I mean, it has no knowledge of what it is. It just knows that there's an object. All right, more Googling. The biggest fix that was needed is that when unmarshalling an array, the property needs to be an array slice in the struct as well. So I need like a releases struct, I guess. Can't be right? Okay, so I mean, I know what's going on, I just don't know how to fix it. I need to, Hey, Mr. Touchreek, how's it going? They are funny looking dwarves. Although, you know, reasonably closer to an actual vanilla Dwarf Fortress game than pretty much any other game you could pick, probably. Other than, like, maybe NetHack. It's good to see you. Hello. Hello. Hope you're doing well today. So, okay, so we are getting back. What are we getting back? I've lost track now. We're getting back. We're getting back an array of maps of strings. We're getting back an array of maps of strings. Array of maps. I feel like I've got some deja vu here. An array of maps of strings. an array of a map of strings. You're doing all right. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. All right, map of string. All right. Let's see what this gives us. Data types, man. You think you're a programmer until you have to deal with data types, and then you realize you're still learning. Data types. So we've got releases as a array of map strings. And we're trying to unmarshal cannot unmarshal a number into Go value of type string. Right, but all of these are JSON, so they should all be I think this is the closest we've gotten. I mean, where we started is effectively as close as we're actually getting to being correct, but there's some flaw. This is going to give us that same unable to unpack the URL error. But that's the closest. I mean, it's actually trying. It's getting to that point. I just don't know how to do it. Cannot unmarshal string in the Go struct field release.url. What is the deal? What is the deal? It's got to be obvious. I'm just missing something small here. Failed retrieving list of releases. Types, man. Yeah, for real. If this was Python, I'd be done already. Cannot unmarshal a string into Go struct field release.url of type url.url. This is what makes you quit Golang every time. Yeah, for real. I can't actually bounce, but I gotta figure out. Sure want to, that's for sure. Cannot unmarshal string. All right. What if we Google for the actual straight up error message? Customize. It is angry with this. Where's my release type? right here. It can't unmarshal a string to our URL.url. Should be release.url is that. As far as I understand, that should work. Cancel. Yeah. Except this other guy, I believe, is saying that it shouldn't work. That you have to have a custom unmarshaller for your whatever your thing. I could unmarshal releases. See, I think what's not working here is there's two issues. There's unmarshalling non-standard strings or non-strings, right? Parsing them to URLs. Parsing these URLs, right? Which should be doable, I guess. But also we need to parse the fact that it's an array of these objects. So how do you unmarshal an array of objects that need to be unmarshaled? Each of them need like a handler. They need their own special handler. Do I unmarshal? I need to unmarshal the whole response, right? So I need releases to be unmarshaled to I need releases to be unmarshaled to a slice of dereferenced map string values? No. No. It needs to be a I don't know. Let's try again. Try again. Don't give up. Keep going. We're going to come up with a new type. We're going to say type releases struct contains a type release of type release, right? String is not struct. Okay, releases are made up of an array of releases. Right? That looks promising. The releases struct is made up of an array of releases, and I've even forgotten how to write Go now. I've lost it. Var releases is of type releases. No, this is lowercase. So we're going to say var is of type releases, and because I can't just call this releases, right? That would be, oh no, I guess maybe that would work. Var releases is right. Okay, so a slice of releases. Oh, we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. I think we're just making the code more complicated, but we are getting somewhere. All right. At the very least, we're learning, and that's all that matters. Can't unmarshal an array into Go value of type command releases. That's more promising. Okay, so I can't unmarshal the array to a struct. It's gotta be... like literally an interface. Alright, so this guy, or lady, whoever Olekus is doing effectively what I was just trying to do. Bar C is a slice of basically what I was using as releases. So basically, I think my handling of the releases slice or array is correct. However, I can't unmarshal contents of the array properly. Huh, this is doing something similar. Or it's not because there's no code in there. This is sort of the same, but it's not in Go, obviously. It looks like these are sort of similar, but they're just listing releases. Oh, here we go. This might work. Okay, so he's got a map of strings of interfaces. I wonder if that would work. Okay. Alright, so we don't want to dump into a struct. But releases is going to be why didn't I like that? Alright, does this get us any closer? Hey! Well, that worked, but I don't, I have no idea why. What, so, okay. Alright. We decided to make a slice of maps with string keys and interface values. And we unpacked the JSON bytes into a slice of the map string interfaces. Map of strings to interfaces. I've been saying that wrong the whole time. It's a map of strings to interfaces. Mapping strings to interfaces. I need to get that right. It doesn't make sense to say map string interfaces. Or map string strings. A map of strings to strings, map of strings to interfaces. Alright, so really, you know, before... Basically my homework for tonight is to like really freaking understand interfaces. Like, why did that work? And I really don't understand interfaces, I don't think. But at least we can continue. And I think we can just call this releases. No, that's not going to work, right? We want this to be... Alright. Whatever. Okay, so now I think we can... start working with the data. I think this is, we're going to run into the exact same problem though. How do I map the contents of these? How do I map the contents of this data to release objects? I mean, it's no longer JSON, right? I mean, it could be. No. No, it's not JSON. Yeah, you know what? I think it's we're okay. We made progress. At least I'm getting the data back. That's helpful. What I need to do is spend some time learning how interfaces work. Perfect timing. Microphone cut off. Great timing. Okay. Okay, we got it though. We got the results back. I have no idea why it worked. And I know that I need to do my homework and figure out what interfaces, how interfaces work, and how I'm gonna get this data into release objects. Because right now it's just piped into whatever result is. So yeah, exactly, Stephen. We're definitely gonna work backwards from here. We got data. That's the easiest or the hardest part. We got the data. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we're at time anyway. So again, it wasn't exactly as far as I wanted to get, but ended on a high note. Partial success at least, and yeah, not so bad. So we're gonna call it. Thanks everybody who's hanging out. Steven, Mr. Touchstreak was here. Dr. Phineas, Rusty Shat, all of you, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate the company. And yeah, we'll do this again on Thursday. We might. Well, no, I was gonna say we might do some Dwarf Fortress tomorrow night, but got family plans, so we're gonna be doing family stuff tomorrow night. Maybe we'll do some Dwarf Fortress on Saturday morning or something. So, yeah, I'll see you all Thursday for some more practically programming. And you know, that's perfect. Just, you know, doesn't matter how long it takes. This is a perfect example of what we're trying to show here. You plug away at it, you figure something out, you don't quite know what it is or how it works, but you make make progress toward what you're doing and do some more learning and go from there. So, yeah, well, everybody take it easy, have a good evening, and we will catch you next time.